Alrighty, guys. If you're watching this and or listening, you're listening to the how do I say this on-the-go version in School Detention. Unfortunately, at WRLR, we're moving radio stations. Actually, I like the home that we were at. We're moving to a strange station that's still in Round Lake, but because of that, from now until the 31st, we're gonna be off air completely. So if you guys tune into me today or plan on tuning in at 5 o'clock, I'm not gonna be on air or available for you guys. So apologies about that. But the good news is, we're here for you now. So I played my intro song now, but I don't have an intro song, obviously. So we're gonna jump straight in. Welcome to School Detention with your boy Devonn.
And Pierce.
How you feeling, bro?
Tired.
Yeah?
Tired, yeah. I don't know why.
What you been doing lately?
Nothing.
Nothing at all?
Nothing at all. Work isn't shit. I've just been cooling.
Oh, it's on the radio, G. Oh, it's not on the radio. I wonder, can we cuss on this one? Because it's still my show. Let's not cuss.
Sorry about that.
I got you. It's all good. But you know, one thing I was really reading into, man, and it kind of bothered me, and it's kind of interesting to bring up because it's happened to everyone. Everyone's done it. Is ghosting people. I personally, I'm not a fan of ghosting people at all. I'm a person. I like closure. You know, some situations, if it's like a dangerous situation or someone just won't stop, won't leave me alone, blow my phone up, I definitely can't do that. But in terms of other situations, you know what I'm saying, I'm not a fan of it. It leaves me wondering. It raises my anxiety. I'm just like, yo, what is actually going on? Like, what do you actually think? How are you feeling, you know?
Yeah. I don't know. I get why people don't like it, because I mean, if you're a person that likes closure, then yeah, you're gonna want closure. But personally, for me, like, if someone were to randomly stop talking to me, and I don't know why, I'm not gonna stress over it. I'm just gonna be like, all right, well, gonna move on. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not gonna. There's literally at least from my personal perspective, there's no point in me stressing over something that I'm never gonna get the answer to. And I'm not gonna go out of my way to be like, Can you please tell me what I did wrong? Because, like, no. Because, like, I'm just going to be like, all right, well, I'm just going to go ahead and move on to the next. You know what I'm saying? But, yeah, but, like, I'm not going to... I don't think I've ghosted people before. It's happened to me before. There's been times where I've texted girls, and the conversation seemed like it was going good, and then one day they just stopped talking to them. And I was like, all right, well, I'm not going to text you like, hey, like, what happened? Like, what did I say wrong? Like, I'm just going to be like, all right, well... I'm not gonna dwell on this, you know what I'm saying? But I don't know. I guess some people just like closure more than others. But I mean,
I definitely do, and it all depends on the conversation. So if me and you text and you like stop replying to me, that's like whatever. But if it's if it's a girl, I just meet you, I really like you, or if I meet you, I like you, I'm into you, it has good conversation, I know where it goes left, or not even go left. You just stop talking to me. I'm gonna be like, oh, that was kind of odd. Like, why? Like, because it's just like in my mind, like, there was no reason to stop, at least from my perspective.
Yeah.
Now, if it is going great and we're talking, we're really getting to know each other, like we're starting to know each other's secrets and emotional level, and all of a sudden you just stop talking to me, I'm going to be bothered. Because it's just like, man, like, we were talking, it's not like we were just some surface level stuff.
Yeah, you're going to be bothered, but I mean, you're going to be bothered, but I mean, what's happened, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's like no reason to be like, to stress over that, you know what I'm saying? Because she stopped talking to you for whatever reason, and she didn't tell you, okay, like, you either sit and you get upset about it or you move on, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's one or the other, like, and it's a lot easier said than done, I get that.
Yeah.
But I mean,
when I was younger...
Nobody owes anybody an explanation of anything. You know what I'm saying? If they want to stop talking to you just because they want to stop talking to you, then it's like, all right, like, I don't need to tell you why. And now if you're dating and all of a sudden, like, you're just done, that's one thing. Yeah. But, like, if you're just talking and the conversation's going well, but then they just stop talking to you for whatever reason, maybe, somebody else came into their life that, or whatever the case is. But I mean, like, it's just like, I don't need an explanation for why you stopped talking to me. I'm just gonna take it. Like, all right, obviously this isn't going anywhere. I'm gonna go ahead and move on now. I don't need a paragraph and bullet points as to this is, well, you said this wrong, and this is this, and I wasn't feeling this. I'm like, all right, like, it's just, I don't need that, so I'm not gonna dwell on that. You feel me? But that's me. That's me.
I feel you,
that's
and for me, it all depends on the context. If I meet someone and I'm talking to you for like a week, and you just ghost me, that's like it's like whatever. That's temporary. But if my thing is, if we get to know each other, if we've been talking for a few weeks, like not maybe longer than a few weeks, a few months, and it's important stuff we're talking about, and then you just like, I'm gonna be kind of like, dang. Eventually, I'll be whatever about it, but in my mind, in my heart, I'll be like, dang, that sucks. I thought we were talking about something really relevant. Like, that's crazy. I thought we were really building on something.
Yeah, but I mean, like, when they're done, when they ghost you, what goes through your mind after that?
What goes to my mind would be like, dang, like, that was kind of random. I thought we were kind of building on something. Was it something that I said wrong? Was it maybe something they got going on in their life? Is this even worth stressing about? Am I even going to hit...
Not. It's not.
And as I've gotten older, I realize that sometimes it's not, but I still get that feel. I will always just get that feeling, especially if it's like a conversation where we're actually talking about something. Not like a, hey, how you doing? How's your day? Let's talk about important stuff, and then you just out of nowhere just boop. Well, I'm just stop talking to you. Like, dang. And me personally, because can be very self-conscious, I'm always gonna wonder, is it my fault? Like, did you have something else going on?
Everyone's gonna think that. Everyone's gonna think, oh, is it something that I did? But if you don't get that, if you don't get the answer, and if you look back, and then I guess you can look back on the text, and if it seems like it's going well, and they didn't bring up anything that you did at the moment that you did it, then it's just like, well, I don't know. Me personally, I don't like wasting my energy being upset about stuff that just doesn't really matter. You know what I'm saying? Like, and like if someone so if I were talking to someone for weeks, months, whatever, and like if I was talking to someone for a month, and then it seemed like it was going great, and all of a sudden it just cut, and I was like, maybe for a day I'd be like, damn, or dang, sorry, that sucks, But I mean, I'm not gonna, wake up, 2 days from now like, oh, are they talking to somebody else? Like, what are they saying that I'm not saying? Like, this is crazy. This is driving me crazy. I need closure. Like, it's just like, all right, they stopped talking to me. They just must not have been feeling it. Someone's gonna feel it, Like, I'm just not gonna dwell on something that just like clearly they weren't if they ghosted you for whatever reason, they just weren't feeling it or whatever the case is. Someone is gonna enjoy the conversations you have and keep talking to you. Like, so there's just no point in dwelling on that one person not talking to you because there's so many other people out there that you can talk to. I mean, it's just unnecessary like stress you're putting yourself under because you're worried about that one person and not worried about you. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. It just doesn't seem like it's worth my time being upset about stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? I mean, and we've known each other for years. When I was younger, I used to really like blow my mind over stuff. I used to flip out about it. I'm older, I got a little just better at relaxing and letting it be. But for me, like I said, it's always gonna be the initial like hit. And and I think one because I'm so self-conscious about how I am around others because being, having an outgoing personality, sometimes when you're around others, you can make them feel maybe like uncomfortable or like because your energy's always on like 1,000, they may not be on your energy level. Right. And you always want to be considerate of those around you. Yeah. And so I'm always, and even not in like just talking to girls, talking to people in general. When I'm around other people and I may not know them, or even if I know them real well, I want to make sure I'm not just like burning them out on my energy because I got so much, or I'm just like on 1,000 and they're like on like 2 and I'm just everywhere. You feel me? But, I mean, yeah, I get what you're saying. But I can't fine-tune myself to everybody. You can't. I mean, the thing is, if you start changing the way you act around certain people, they're going to expect you to act that way at all times. So when you don't act like that, and you act like yourself, or however you act, they're going to be looking at you like, why are you acting like that? But you're like, what do you mean? Like, I'm acting normal. But you aren't to them. You know what I'm saying? So you just got to be yourself, and if they like you, they're gonna mess with you. If they don't, they don't. I mean, but you can't just like, I remember when I was my first relationship, she broke up with me and my heart was broken. I was like, oh my god, this is horrible, and I thought my life was over. But bump her. Nah, I mean it's whatever, and it was whatever at the time too. Like, literally, it was like, thinking back, if I was in the same situation now, I'd be like, okay, well, I'm not gonna waste my time being upset about this. You know what I'm saying? Because then once they're out of your life, and you let them live in your head still, then like it's like, what's the point, you know? Because you're not gonna get the conversation you want. You're not, even if you do get the conversation you want, it's not gonna. You're probably not gonna go the way you want, because it's gonna just hurt you even more. So what? You just want to be more upset? Like, do you think when you have the conversation, you'd be like, oh, okay, well, thanks, and I feel a lot better now? No, you're gonna be that much more upset. You're gonna try to convince them to keep talking. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, like I'm not gonna go ahead and waste, you know, my time, you know, doing that. You know what I'm saying? I'm just gonna move on, you know, and do my thing. What are you looking for? Oh,
a socket. Yeah, a socket. I got it. Now, depending on what exactly happened, if it was like a bad fallout, like I fall out with somebody, I may want to talk about that. I definitely want to talk about that because in that case, we're really cool, and all of a sudden you just, like, we had a bad argument, we fell out, and you got to be somebody of importance to me for me to really want to, rekindle that and really understand what went wrong, what did I do wrong, can we still be cool, like, what's really the issue for me personally,
Right.
And that just, like I said, all depends on the context, situation, and the person.
Well, I mean, obviously, like, you're not just gonna, like, I'm not just saying forget, once a relationship is done, just cancel them out of your mind and forget about it. But, like, I mean, like, I feel like a lot of relationships, like, there's only so many relationships that I hold so dearly to my, to my heart, to where I want that conversation if something happened. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of them aren't, not that they aren't important to me. There's a socket over here you can plug the thing into.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Or there's a whole thing over there you could probably just unplug something.
The strip is full. Are you sure? I won't want to plug anything.
I mean, everything's turned off. There's my PlayStation. But,
okay, perfect. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, but yeah. So, I mean, it does just. I just don't dwell over it. I just, unnecessary stress you put on your life, it stresses you out, shortens your lifespan, all that stuff. Like, I'm just trying to, if they want to talk about it, cool, we can talk about it. If they don't want to talk about it, all right, I'm not going to be upset about that. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just not worth my time. Like, I've been saying this whole time, it's just not worth my time being upset about something that's been done. Already happened, so what are you going to be mad at? Like,
what if you think you can fix it? Like, you want to, because my mindset is, I want to, like I said, depending on the relationship, I want to be able to exhaust all my options to fix whatever may have happened and whatever went wrong.
Yeah, but you may want to, but that person ended that relationship for whatever reason.
True.
If they thought that it could have been fixed, it would have been talked about, or they would have brought it up to you. Clearly, they don't think it's going to be fixed, even if you think it can be fixed. So, if you go ahead and try to do all the things to fix it, whether that's trying to contact them or getting them flowers or calling them or whatever the case is, like, they don't want it. And that means you're just making yourself look worse. You're pushing them away even further. Yeah. So, like, if they want space, give them space. You don't have to, like, but we can have space together and, like, we can do this and, like, like, I could change, like, just please, like, no, like, just, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, because just put yourself in their shoes. If you weren't feeling a girl and you're like, all right, this isn't working. You know what I'm saying? And then you kind of dead it, and then she keeps, well, what about this? Well, I can do this, and I can change, and I can do this, and I know you like this, I can do that, blah, blah, blah. And it keeps texting me like, geez, like, I just don't want it anymore. Like, there's sometimes you just don't have the feeling that my freaking cats are there. But sometimes you just don't have
that feeling or that wanting to be there anymore.
Like, it just stops. Like, there's no explanation for it. It's just like, I'm just not feeling it anymore. And that's really all that's the explanation. And it's not going to be enough for that person. They're going to want a whole, well, you did this and you did that, and, maybe if you do this and then we can work it out. Like, no. It's just, that's, a lot of times this is not how it is. You know what I'm saying? So, like, there's no point, and then like I said, what if you think you can fix it? You probably can't fix it. You know what I'm saying? Unfortunately. And like I said, there's so many people in the world, there's no point in just stressing yourself over that one person, and obviously however long the relationship lasts, it's going to be harder just to kind of forget about it, but the faster you can just kind of put that in your mind, like, all right, what's done is done. Time to go ahead and move on. Like, let me go ahead and preoccupy myself. Let me go to the gym. Let me go hang out with some friends. Let me go do this. Let me go meet some other people. Instead of sitting in my house thinking about what I did wrong, you know, and just killing yourself because you're just like, oh my god, like I did this and I did that, and you know what I'm saying? Then you're just gonna be, then you're just not helping yourself, you know. Right. So I don't know, it just doesn't, you know, it's just wasted energy. I feel like almost.
And I hear you, but being someone who like deals with anxiety, like, cause I've never been diagnosed with anxiety, but it just, I don't know, I just get anxious, and sometimes, you know, I get in situations and. A lot of times it's where an emotion is involved. And, you know, like I said, when I was younger, I handled it way better. Now that I'm older, I'm definitely more chill. I'm just like, whatever, I'm going to let that be.
Yeah.
But some other stuff, I just can't help but get, like, worked over a little bit. As I get older
like
and I'm...
What? You know what I mean, like personal things.
No, I got you. We really just hit on, you know, the whole... I mean, really, it revolves around dealing with the opposite sex, relationships. Really, it's just that, and like strong friendships, or really work relationships too, because I don't want to damage those. I mean, you don't want to damage any relationship, but if I had to pick ones that are really like put on a hierarchy, that I don't want to hurt, you know, family, you know, friendships and work relationships are probably like the top 3. Because I'm not in a romantic relationship, so I can't say that right now.
Right.
So those are probably top 3, and you know. Work relationships are so important because that's your job, that's work. A lot of times it's not about what you know, it's about who you know. So knowing people, being kind to people, always being honest is such a big thing, you know. And so like stuff like that I freak out over a little bit too, because I always wonder like what could be the consequence behind it. Could I maybe lose it? Besides the fact of me losing my job or just, you know, looking bad to an employer, I worry about just them as a person,
right?
You know, on a personal level, but then also. And because I worry about that person on a personal level as a friend before a coworker or a supervisor or whatever, it increases my anxiety because then I worry about them as my coworker, supervisor, whichever. Because then I think it'll fall out behind it. You know? I don't know how you may feel about that, but that's kind of stuff that gets me worked up. It's certain situations where I'm cool, calm, collected, but the other times it's just ones where I look at the consequences, what could happen, what bad could happen, what can I do to fix this, and do whatever I can to fix it. Jump in as much as I possibly can.
Yeah. I don't know. I get what you're saying with the whole work relationships and stuff like that. And, you know, I guess I don't necessarily go out of my way because, okay, so, like, I'm in a group chat with some coworkers and stuff. I was put into it. Not that I don't like any of them. They're all cool, but, like, they definitely contribute a lot more than I do to it. You know what I'm saying? I don't feel a need to be like, I gotta make sure that they know that I'm enjoying this, you know? I gotta make sure that they know I'm laughing at this, or you know, I gotta, if they put this funny thing in there, I gotta put something funny so then they all laugh at me, so then, you know, that they enjoy it.
Right.
You know, and it's just like, I'm not, I'm gonna be me the whole time. And if what I do throws you off, sorry if I'm just cutting you off, but what I'm doing, if the way I'm acting throws you off, then, I mean, like, I'm not, that's just how I am, you know what I'm saying? And I'm not gonna be just a dick to people, which I'm not, but like, you know, but I'm just gonna be me, you know, and not everyone's gonna like me, but I'm not gonna stress over people who don't, you know what I'm saying? And I get your whole thing, like, you know, in the future, like, what if they're this, and then they remember this, and then...
But see, that's my overthinking. Overthinking is exhausting. I overthink so much.
I feel you.
It stops everything. Now, not to cut you off, but then to your point, you know, you brought up forcing yourself to laugh. When I was younger, being the youngest, like, when I got hired at my job, I was 19, and I was definitely the youngest, so... And I work with a bunch of older people, so I tried hard to fit in. Now I'm older, you know, 22 now, and now it's just like I really don't care at this point. And now I'm more so just doing me instead of trying to follow the wave. So if I don't jive with someone or a joke I done funny, I don't have to laugh. Like I don't pressure myself to laugh at it to fit in. I'm just kind of like right. And now I'm to the point where it's like I don't know. I know I don't need to do that because if you're gonna mess with me from the get go, then that's just how it's gonna be. Period.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm not like that like I was when I first got hired, but it's just more. You know, like, I'm still me. I don't want to offend anybody.
Right, and then no one should want to offend
anybody. Right. But it's just, I take extra precaution. I always go above and beyond for that stuff because that's just like, man, that's an important relationship in my life.
I feel you, but I get what you're saying, and like, yeah, like, no, you shouldn't want to offend anybody, but people could be offended by anything. Like, I could be offended right now. I could be offended right now over something you said, you know, but you'd be like, what? And then now you're gonna be racking your brain like, okay, well, how do I like fix that?
Exactly what happens to me.
It's just like, but
there's nothing I can do about it.
Yeah,
exactly.
it's just that's just how it is with that person. You know what I'm saying? So instead of changing how you interact with all these people,
trying to fix everything.
Just if you just this is me. If what I say offends you, then clearly we just don't jive like that. And you know, you're not everyone's gonna like you. You're not gonna get along with everybody as much as you want to. This is not how it's gonna happen. I'm sure even like if the people that we see like celebrities and stuff, we'll be like, oh man, they're probably so cool and everyone loves them. I guarantee someone doesn't like them. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, and are they stressing over that? No, they're not stressing over that. I mean, there's just you know. And yeah, and it's, like I said, it's a lot easier said than done. You know, I mean, you're still gonna be thinking about it and racking your brain, but like the more you can just understand that like not everyone's gonna like you regardless of what you do. So other people have stuff going on in their lives, so they may snap at you, but they only did that because of something else is going on, which has nothing to do with you. So because of that, you're over here stressing over something you don't even need to be stressing over, and you're not going to get the answer because the answer is in their life.
Right.
And you're not going to find it in your life. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, it's just unnecessary stress. You know what I'm saying? Unless, like, you obviously do offend someone and it is your fault, and then maybe you don't usually do that, or you're having a bad day and you say something that's kind of outlandish, and then they're like, whoa, like, that was kind of... And then you can come back and listen, you know, explain yourself, you know, I was going through some stuff, I'm sorry, this and that, you know, and fix it. But you know when that happens, when you do that, you know what I'm saying? So if you're just acting normal and someone's just upset and not feeling what you're doing, like
F 'em.
it's just like, all right, well, I'm not like, it's just whatever, I'm not gonna trip over that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know there's people out there that I've heard that have a problem with me, but I don't necessarily have a problem with that person. You know what I'm saying? I'm just like,
I hate you.
That's cool. Alright, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just, like, I just don't, you know, like, they could have a problem with me for whatever reason, you know, but I'm just gonna keep living my life. And if me living my life is getting you upset, then that's your problem, not my problem. You feel me?
I never understand why people go out of the way to not like other people. And I see it, and I mean, I work with it, I see it. It's just kind of miserable.
Yeah. I just don't really, I just don't care. You don't like me and it's not because of something I've done, it's just you just don't like me.
Yeah.
Alright, well.
If someone doesn't like me, it's kind of out of the kindness of my heart, depending on what it is. I'll be like, dang, like, did I do something to offend you? That's my bad. But then I'll give you that first kind of free ticket. Kind of like, you know, like, oh, well, why don't you like me? Did I do something? Did I offend you somehow? Like, what did I do that was wrong? Yeah. Just like a checks and balances
you
for
can
me.
Definitely, like, just
to be like, huh? But then if they say that because, oh, Devonn, I don't like you because you're tall, you have glasses, I'll be like, oh, well, it was nice to meet you.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
I mean, like, yeah, if they don't really have a reason why, then I'm not gonna try to make you like me. You just don't like me, and that's fine. I'm sure there's people at work that probably aren't the biggest fan. I don't know why they wouldn't be. Like, I'm just chilling, but I mean, I'm sure there are people. They're like, oh, you know, I'm indifferent with peers. I'm like, all right, cool. I'm not gonna make a point to, oh, I need you to like me. Like, I need you to like me. You know, that's like social media type shit.
Yeah.
Like, people like I need the likes. I need this. I need that. So I'm gonna change the way I'm perceived so I get more people to like me. And now I'm not even who I am. I'm somebody else just so they could like me. Yeah, and now you're living a lie, and you're not even happy with yourself, and you know everyone else likes you, but then you hate yourself. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like
that's how it was, man. When I was 19, little bit into 20, I wanted to fit in. I wanted to be included in everything so bad. I wanted to know every inside joke. I don't want to be left out of anything. And part of it was insecurity because I wanted to know if, you know, was I being joked about? But then the other part of it was I just wanted to fit in. I haven't had many, I have friends, but I don't have many friends. Yeah. You know, people I know and I trust. So when I got in that environment, I felt like I had to impress everybody. I felt like I had to be, you know, the man or be included in everything. Found out I don't want to be included in everything. There's a bunch of BS going on.
Right, exactly.
But then, you know, I found myself and I found peace within myself. And I'm still trying to, but as I've gotten older, I notice how fickle and silly people can be. And that when you take back focus of trying to just fit in and be that guy or girl, whichever, and trying to have the center of attention and be cool with everybody, when you try to do, when you look back, when you take a step back, you actually people's going on, depending on the situation, you notice a bunch of BS going on, and you notice a bunch of shady stuff, people kissing such and such's butt. You see people's true character, you know, and there's a saying, I'm sure you heard it, a wise man, I'm gonna mess this up, but a wise man doesn't talk as much, but he listens more. I messed that up. That was absolutely trash, but
yeah.
But like, pretty much you learn
I know what
more
you- I
by
know what you
listening
mean.
instead of talking.
Yeah.
You know, and I used to do a lot of talking, a lot of joke cracking, a lot of trying to fit in or laughing and stuff. I didn't even know it was fun. Like, I didn't know it was for everyone else. I was like, ah.
Yeah.
Like, I used to really be that guy until I realized I don't have to be that dude, man. I don't. I can just be who I want to be and find inner peace. And I'm still trying to.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Yeah, everyone's, working, no one just has it down, you know what I'm saying? But I think and this is another thing you gotta realize, not everybody that you encounter is supposed to be in your life forever. And that's real.
True.
You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
The amount of people you encounter on a daily basis, you think every one of them has to, this person has to, is going to change my life this way. This person's going to change. Like, no, sometimes it's just a hi-bye type situation, or at work, yeah, I just work with that person, but like I don't need to create a relationship and have, deep conversations with that person and know the ins and outs of their brain. Like, I don't need that at all. Like, sometimes it's just, yeah, we work together, we're cool when at work, but like, yeah, we don't talk all the time. Like, I don't have everyone's Snapchat for my job. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't snap every single I barely snap. I snap a couple people, like my close friends and stuff like that. But, and then, I'll see people out on the street. I'm like, oh, what's good? I'll greet you when I see you. But like, I'm not gonna text you that night like, yo, what's up, bro? Like, how, like, it's just, it's just that's not the type of relationship. This is not that type of relationship. There's different type of levels of relationship. You know what I'm saying? And like, some of them you just hold more dear to your heart. Other ones are just kind of like, yo, what's up? It's just, but not everyone's supposed to be in your life and have some significant impact in your life.
Right.
It's just not realistic. And if you think that's the case, you're gonna be killing yourself trying to make every relationship count. And you're gonna, then like I said, you're just not gonna be you at the end of the day, because you're gonna be changing yourself for so many people that you're gonna lose who you are. Then you're gonna find yourself like, okay, when I'm here, I gotta act like this, and when I'm here, I gotta act like this, and I gotta laugh at these things when I'm with these people, and I gotta listen to this when I'm with these people, and it's just like, oh fuck, like,
it's tired
or freak, like what? And it's tiring. You know what I'm saying? Like, wouldn't you rather just want to be yourself all the time, and then the people who mess with you, and people who don't, so then you don't have to change yourself. And I'm not saying, like, obviously, like, when you're with your guys versus when you're with your girl, like, it's gonna be just a different interaction. But I'm saying, but at the end of the day, like, you're still you. You're still making this, you still have the same sense of humor, talk about the same stuff, talk the same way, listen to the same music, you know what I'm saying? Like, you don't want to have to be a completely different person with this set of friends and then this set of friends. Because when you bring one friend from this group and you're hanging out with you and these friends,
they're gonna be like,
they're looking at you like, what are you, like, what? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then it's just weird because you're not the same person. You know what I'm saying? So it's just, like, it's gotta be you 100% of the time. It's just gotta be you,
I think for someone to find themselves, not to cut you off, I think for someone to find themselves, they gotta get out more. I think that they have to really go out and experience life and not just be stuck in a bubble. Mm-hmm. So, like, let's say here in Lake County, if someone were to stay here their entire life and not ever travel anywhere, move anywhere different, this is all they're gonna know. Yeah. So I think that for someone to really figure out themselves, they need to test their limits and push themselves to that outer reach and try things they maybe never would have tried, or whatever the case may be, to really figure out what they want, what they don't want. And a lot of times when change happens in our life, or in our bodies, physical, emotional, mental, whatever, you don't really realize it until later. Some stuff you feel, oh, I get hit by a car, yeah, I felt that. You know what I'm saying? But other stuff, you don't really feel until you get put in a certain situation where you realize you've matured emotionally, and to let yourself grow and let yourself grow into this new person, because you don't really know what's happening at that time.
Yeah. Right. No, exactly what you're saying. I mean, you're not gonna be ready for every moment that you encounter. You know what I'm saying? Like you said, sometimes you need certain experiences to really get what's going on here. You know what I'm saying? And then these people who do have these experiences, so then you feel like, oh, why didn't I understand? But it's just like, well, you just haven't gone through that. You know what I'm saying? Like, when you grow up, you'll realize, and and then you can comment on that or whatever the case is. But I mean, it's just, I don't know, man. Like, you just kind of, like, gotta not so much not care, But like you
figure out what to put your care in though.
Exactly. Like a lot of stuff doesn't work. A lot of things don't, aren't big enough in your life to stress over and just overthink and just be like, I need to have everything perfect in my life and with these people, and everyone needs to like me, and everyone needs to think I'm funny, and everyone needs to come for me for advice, and everyone needs to, I need to be the guy for everyone's life, because it's gonna be so exhausting for you.
I'm not gonna lie, like as a mentor,
you're not gonna want that.
Yeah, like as a mentor, bro. Like don't get me wrong, I love all my little brothers, I really do. Big shout out to them, but man, as a mentor, like being called, and this is what I signed up for, but being called when you're in the middle of doing some work, you get a call like, oh hey Devonn, can you come pick me up, or hey Devonn, can you talk about this, hey can we talk about that. I enjoy it, I love it, but constantly being that person, like you were just saying, oh my god, it's draining, especially when you're trying to do stuff, whether it be just a phone conversation or to come pick me up so we can talk, or can you pick me up from work, even though we're in Gurney. It's just like, dang, it's always one thing after another. So I've definitely not to get too off topic, but I've definitely, I love being a mentor, but I've definitely learned the downsides of it, for sure.
Yeah.
But back to what you were saying.
Oh, I don't even know what else.
You were saying, like, being the man, being a person that's, always going to be,
You just don't want to, it's not, it's not fun being that guy. Like, I mean, and I always think about, celebrities, the celebrities, everybody loves them, this and that, and on the outside they're happy and smiling, but how many times do you hear celebrities, having drug addictions to deal with that stuff, and or they're happy on the outside but they're severely depressed at home because they're not happy because they're making sure everybody else is happy, and they gotta cater to all these people and this and that. So you know what I'm saying, and then they feel like, well, the real me, you guys won't like the real me, so I gotta put on this front, and now now when I'm out I gotta be this guy, but when I'm home I'm this guy. And no one understands me because no one knows me. And
well, when you get to that point, you don't even understand you.
That's what I'm saying. But if you just are you the whole time, and don't change yourself for likes, then you're just then it'll be so much better. You know what I'm saying? And some people just some people are just easier to like than other people. You know what I'm saying? That's just how it is. Some people, their personalities are just a little more attractive than others, for the masses, you feel me? But that's just something you gotta understand, and you gotta be okay with, not everyone's cut out to be the the most liked person in the world, not everyone's gonna be that guy, you know what I'm saying? But and then the sooner you can understand that about yourself, whether it is you are the most liked person in the world, or only a couple people really like you that much, then it's like, okay, well, I'm gonna focus my attention on people that really do like me.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna focus my attention on people that don't like me because they just don't matter in my life. You know what I'm saying? They don't give me any satisfaction, so I'm not gonna worry about that.
Absolutely.
So,
absolutely.
That's how I think about it.
No, and I completely get you. Like I said, growing older, seeing the downfalls of society, bad people, good people, really understanding, like seeing the brink of it, seeing the extremes. You start to come up with your own middle ground on how you may feel about whatever the case may be. And then you also start to find a middle ground within yourself. And I think that as young people, I feel like we, as in this generation, because everything happens so fast, we don't find our individuality. We're individual because we know what we want. We know, we're very on it. We like everything fast. We know we want it right now. Yeah. But I feel like because everything happens so fast and everything's so technological, when I worry about the next generation, we don't find time to really build character within ourselves.
Right.
I feel like we're so absorbed in, who broke up with who this week, what's going on Twitter, what's going on Facebook. It's absolutely crazy. What's the weather like? Okay, look what the head Cheeto in charge. That's president, guys, just so you know. I don't call him president, but, what's that idiot doing? What's going on? There's so much information at hand. Nobody sits there and focuses on themselves.
Yeah.
And if they do, it's way too much on themselves, and then you lose a lack of humanitarianism. I feel like it's a lack of people willing to be nice, go out of their way for each other.
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
No.
I just.
No. I mean, I think that's the way the media presents it, but the media also.
They only show
good things. Nobody wants to see.
Right.
People getting along. They want to see anger, they want to see confrontation, they want to, that's what sells. And you may say, oh, I don't want to see that, I want to see love. It's like, okay, but then you'll watch people fighting on Facebook, and you'll be watching it. You don't want to see people like hugging. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, as great as that is, and the majority of people are nice people. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, I hold doors open for people. People hold doors open for me. People are nice. You know, people aren't just mean to people all the time. You know what I'm saying? But if you watch the news and you go on social media and you see that, you would think that they're like, oh, everyone's just out for themselves and everyone's just mean and everyone's just so self-centered and this and that. Like, but like, just take a step back and just actually just interact with the people. You know what I'm saying? If you take a step back from what the media is pushing in your face because that's what they want you to see, and then if you watch that, then that's what you're gonna think is what everything is. You know what I'm saying? And then you're gonna be that. Then you're just gonna get so depressed because like, oh, everything's so horrible and the world's just going down the drain. And then, you know, there's so much more racism now than there was back in the day, which is just so not true. That's not true at all. I mean, because we don't, you know, the
it's
civil
just
rights
more
era
out
definitely
there
happened.
now. Yeah, it's just more out there now than it is anything. So, not to cut you off, but racism was. I mean, nobody here is getting lynched. I mean, there is.
It's happening, but it's not.
It's not. No one's ever getting lynched,
like
burned at the stake, none of that crap. So,
like
go ahead. We're just.
I'm just saying, like, I mean, if you just rely on what the internet and what the media and this tell you about the world, then you're gonna have a pretty bleak outlook on what life is and how people are to each other, you know. But if you just kind of take a step back from all of that and actually kind of step outside and just talk to people, you know, and interact with people, you're gonna find the majority of people are just nice people, just regular people, just like you. If you think you're a good person, then I'm sure everyone else thinks they're a good person. You know what I'm saying? You're not some just special human being that just has a higher, you know, honor code than everybody else. You know, that's just like, no. You know, most people are just normal people that are just trying to live their day to day. Nice to be strangers. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just the majority. And I feel like a lot of people don't want to realize that. But yeah, this is how it is. At least that's how I think it is. You know, like I can't remember the last time I encountered someone that was just genuinely mean to me, and I was just like, whoa. You know what I'm saying?
I've encountered a few, and that's why I said, like, I agree with you, then I still gotta disagree with you just because I ran into some people, and at my job, which I can't say where I work at, but it's a lot of high influx of people, and I don't know if it's just me being kind of like scorned or scarred a little bit from these people and not like it's just terrible, traumatic stuff, but just seeing how these people interact with each other, how miserable people can be, and just how petty and negative people go out of the way to be sometimes, it's really draining. And it's just like, yo, like, are there really people out there?
You gotta think about circumstances as well. You know, in the place you work at, you get money for certain services. I mean, and a lot of times people do that out of a desperate situation, so they're probably not in the best state of mind, or they're doing it so they can get some type of something to feed an addiction that they may have had. You know what I'm saying? So there's just certain things. So it's like, okay, I'm sure there's probably other things going on in their life,
absolutely,
that are making them act that way. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely, and even besides, you know, that point, not to give too much information where I work at, but even besides that, like, just in terms of, you know, and not to say everyone I work with is bad. This is a really bad patch we went through in my job, and you know, there's like people that are like that still there, but it just bugs me so much because I just don't get, kind of what we just talked about. If I don't get it, if I don't understand it, I rack my brain about it until I try and get it. I've gotten better at just accepting it how it is, but sometimes if I don't understand something and it's in front of my face every day and I gotta deal with it all the time, or at least 3-4 days a week for 8 hours a day or however long, it's going to rack my brain, and I cannot help but wonder in my mind and stress to figure out what this may be, why is this person acting that way, or if I give up on why this person may act this way or just not care anymore, then it's just gonna be like, that's crazy that people can actually be like that.
I mean,
it's like burnout.
Everyone has a different personality. You know what I'm saying? Like, if everyone acted the same, you know how boring.
Yeah, like, no, yeah, absolutely.
Like, if me and you were the same person right now, we would not be having this conversation because we would just be agreeing with everything that we're saying.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, like, that would be boring. Everyone has a different personality. And like I said, some people are going to be liked by everybody. Some people aren't going to be liked by everybody. Mm-hmm. But if you're going to sit there and just, why is that person acting like that? And how come, you know, I don't like them. Why don't I like them? They need to change so I can like them more. And it's just like, bro, You just don't click. You just don't click. That's just what it is. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, okay, you work together. That sucks. That you have to deal with that. But I'm sure even if you went somewhere, if you worked at your, if you wanted to work at Nike and that was your favorite brand and you love Nike, you work there, and the manager's a dick, and you're like, oh my god, and you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just everyone has different personalities. Some people are just, mean, or they just don't take certain things to heart as much as the other person, or their sense of humor is a little bit darker than yours, so they may make a joke about something and you're like, whoa, but there to them it's like, what, it was a joke. Right. You know what I'm saying? But to their friends, they're all gonna laugh. But because your personalities don't match up, you're sitting here thinking like, man, that person was a dick, like he made a joke about that, like he's a horrible person, this is that, blah blah blah. But to his friends, he's a great guy, he's funny, he's just this, you see what I'm saying? Yeah. So like you just
And as much, I get what you're saying, and as much as it is like, it's more of, instead of just trying to like a person or really get along with them, it's more just trying to understand. Because if you're just a negative, mean, just down, miserable person, I'm probably not gonna rock with you. So
that's how some people are.
And that's my thing. It's just like, because I see something, and it's just like, why? Like, my thing is like, why do people like? And if it's some deep emotional trauma as to why the person can be that way, cool, I get it. That's your business, fine. But I just still having a hard time understanding, like, why are you this way when it's so draining to be around that person? What would make you be this way, and why? Like, if it's in your face,
that's like
all
a chemical.
the time.
I feel like you
some
got
stuff
pessimistic. Yeah. You got realists. You got super optimistic people. Because I'm sure if you were around someone that was just optimistic all the time and about everything, and everything was okay, even if when it wasn't, you're gonna be like, yo, like, this is not okay, like, this is a problem. Right. That's gonna drain you just as much as someone who's just negative all the time. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So it's two extremes. And some people just have a negative outlook on life, some people have a super positive, some people are just normal, but I mean, and all those people have people that like those personalities, and they can all, be friends and this and that. But I mean, it's just not accurate to think that everyone should have the same outlook on life, because if that was the case, life would be really boring. There would be no differences in anything. Everyone would just agree on the same thing. You know what I'm saying? Art wouldn't be what art is. I mean, it's just all types of stuff. I mean, so
instead of like, everyone viewing the world the same, everyone being the same person, I'm more of just the fact of, I'm just tired of being around people who aren't good to other people and are just negative, draining people. Like you said, everybody fits in different cliques in different categories. But I just have, and again, I hate to repeat myself, but it's just that I just have a low tolerance for that. I just don't understand why. And it's just being around these negative people and all, it's just super draining.
Well, maybe you should remove yourself from the situation and find somewhere where you do enjoy a little bit more. Like, it's not, is there a certain point, because when you're saying at your job, there's these people there and they're draining, they have whatever outlook on life, you've been there, and clearly that's just how it is. That's just how they are. That's just it. So instead of sitting there and being like, well, why are you like this? I need to figure out why you like this so I can, understand this and that, and blah, blah, blah. Now I'm racking my brain and I'm so drained because every time I go into work and this person is the same way. It's like, all right, why don't you just go somewhere else? Why don't you just get another job? Or why don't you just find somewhere where you actually enjoy going, or, but the thing is, there may be someone there that's just the same way as that person.
Exactly, and that's going to be my rebuttal. It's just like, it may not always be that way. The grass isn't always green on the other side.
Exactly, so.
And I think I think it brings it back to individuality, where it comes on you as a person. And that's something that I've really gotten better at. It's just distancing myself, accepting it, and just understanding, like, that's the way that person is. I'll rack my brain about it. It's gonna bother me, but I've got to learn to accept that.
And I don't even think you should let it bother you. Because honestly, like, if someone just has a negative outlook on something and you don't have that outlook, you're like, all right, well, that's you. I'm gonna go. Just don't. And again, it's the same thing with getting ghosted. Just like, you can sit and just think about it and just rack your brain and be like, oh my god, what is going on? Or you can be like, all right, I'm just gonna go. You can go ahead and have this outlook on life. I'm not gonna let you affect my outlook on life. You see what I'm saying? But not that you're doing this, but when you're at work and you're allowing, and now these people are just like blah 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 in your face, and you're just like, this is so draining because you're allowing them to just get into your head, and and you're sitting here trying to figure out why they're like that, and this is that. But you can just be like, okay, that's just how they are. Oh, they can't see the silver lining. I can though, so I'm not gonna let them blur it for me. You know what I'm saying? But you're allowing them to blur it for you, and then you're just like, oh, now everyone's such a horrible person, and this, all this, and that. But sometimes you just gotta.
Cause I get burned down on people.
You just gotta let it go. You just be like, all right, that's just them. I'm gonna go do me. I go to work. Okay, they're working. All right, I know what to expect. But I'm not gonna let it affect me. They may say some negative remark. That's them. I'm gonna have my positive outlook or however outlook I have. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, you just can't. At a certain point, you just gotta not let people affect the way you see things. You know what I'm saying? Because if you allow people to affect the way you see things,
you get burned out, and that's almost to the point where I'm at. I know I was at that for a while. I was just so burned out. I was tired. I'm just like, I really don't care. I've kind of lost faith in humanity a little bit. But it's just, I've learned to grow old and just kind of roll with it a little bit. It still racks my brain. I'm getting to the point where it's not gonna rack me anymore. Mm-hmm. I'm trying to get there. I'm trying to get to the point where it's like I'm not gonna get as upset about it. I'm not gonna rack about it. I'm not gonna destroy myself. But I'm trying to. I'm still there a little bit, but the faith that I have in humanity, I feel, and it felt like this is everybody, just in terms of being just a good, genuine person, it wavers a lot. I think that's for everybody. It wavers because you see negative stuff, but then it's also about your surroundings. But you see negative stuff, but then you see positive stuff, and then you feel positive stuff within yourself. But then, as a person, you're not always 100% positive about stuff. Sometimes you're down too. And I think
that's not realistic.
Yeah, exactly. And I just think it's all about balance.
Yeah, it is all about balance, and balance to some people is not balanced to you,
Yeah.
So that's just another thing. Like, some people, their pessimistic outlook on life is balanced, but to you, it's like so lopsided, But that's just not. But you got to remember, they are not you. So you find your balance and what makes you happy, comfortable, whatever, and you stick with that. You don't hop on their side and then you're like, what? Why would you think like this? And this is horrible. Oh my God! This is like, no. Like, get on your side, and and just focus on that. Don't focus on them because clearly they're fine with that. They don't see a problem with that, but you do. So why would you sit there and then let that consume your life, and then you're just upset because they're upset and you don't know why they're upset, and and you're like, well, this, the world's so great, how can you think like that? And then you're like, well, because of this and that, and you're like, all right, well, clearly you're just, that's just you. I'm gonna go ahead and enjoy this. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just the comedy. Like, certain comedians, like, you have like super just dark comedians that just have dark humor, make Holocaust jokes, 9/11 jokes, just horrible jokes, and people laugh at that, but then you could be like, oh, I can't believe they would joke about that, you know what I'm saying? But then the person you think is funny, they're gonna be sitting like, man, like, that's so soft, like, that's just so safe, you know what I'm saying? So, like, but to you, that's hilarious, so this is differences in humor, this is differences in their outlook, this is differences in personality, It's differences. That's what makes people unique. That makes things interesting, exciting. Is the differences in people and how they see things. Like I say time and time again, if everyone was the same, everything would be so boring. It'd be so boring because it would just be the same stuff. Everyone would agree. Everyone would, and no one wants that. I mean, you think it'd be ideal, but it's definitely not ideal. So that's another. You just gotta understand everyone's different. So don't let them control you. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Easier said than done, obviously, but something you gotta work on. And I gotta work on. Everyone's gotta work on. Yeah.
Absolutely. Enough off that topic. But it's been a crazy. First off, bro, kudos to you, bro. That was a really good segment. I'm proud of you, bro. You have a really good understanding. I ain't trying to see the smartest dude on the planet. That definitely ain't the case. You kind of stupid, but even with that
if you look at my grades, that's true.
Grades don't always mean everything, though. You know what I'm saying? But that's one thing. That's why I know I can do the show with you, because you're very open-minded. You're very well-spoken. you know, you're smart. You're not gonna speak on stuff that you don't know, and you always keep it real. So I appreciate that, bro. Absolutely, broski. Absolutely. You know, but with that being said, we're gonna switch topics, and now we're gonna go to our bread and butter, which is hip hop. Hip hop has had a really strong 2019. Before we even get to the big chunk, which is Mr. Jermaine Cole. Happy birthday today on the day of this recorded, sir. I want to talk about a new album that came out by Boogie.
Mm-hmm.
And that album, man, that album's absolutely flame.
Yeah, it's a great album.
I love that album. Every track to me seems like a story.
Mm-hmm.
Everything is something new. If you guys want to listen to the album, it's called Everything's for Sale by Boogie. Not a Boogie with a hoodie. I said hoodie. Not a Boogie with a hoodie. Everything for Sale by Boogie. He's a West Coast rapper. He works with Eminem. He works with Dr. Dre. Dude is absolutely ridiculous. He has a track with Eminem where he, in my opinion, he's rapping up there with Eminem. It's kind of hard to go bar for bar with M, but he is. And overall, I just like the project. What'd you think?
I thought it was a solid project. Like you said, every song seems to tell a story. I don't know if I'm putting him up there with Eminem. You know.
Well, on that track.
On the track.
On
yeah,
that track.
Sorry,
guys.
It was pretty well. It was pretty. Even.
On that track. Yeah.
Yeah. No one outshined the other person. I liked it. You know, I've heard of Boogie before. I have a couple songs on my phone from his past album. Pretty decent. I was just kind of waiting on him to drop something new. Obviously, he did. And I don't know. I'm not really seeing a lot of reception from a lot of people from it. Probably just because he's not as well known.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know if he's ever gonna get to that level just because of the way his style is, and it's not what's popular right now. I guess you could say. So, but I mean, if you like lyricism and storytelling and real hip hop, then I guess you would like him. Yeah. What's real hip hop? I don't know.
Correct, because hip hop has changed. It's changed. It's evolved. Art changes. Art evolves all the time. So what may have been the norm 5 years ago or even a year ago is a different, completely norm than what the norm is today.
And would you even want that to be the norm? How boring would that be if hip hop was the same sound forever?
Would I want it to be the same?
I wouldn't want it to sing. I don't want a million Tupacs and Biggies. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want a million Tupacs and Biggies. I don't want a million J. Coles. And every single thing is like, okay, well, it's the same thing, same sound, same, you know, everything, same beat selection. You know, it's just like, okay, I want something different. I want, you know, like, I don't always want to be taught a lesson every time I'm listening to something. Like, sometimes I just want to listen, just vibe to it. Sometimes I just want to, you know, get hyped to it.
Yeah.
Like, you know, like, I can't throw on J. Cole, you know, Letter to Myself in the gym. You know, because that's just not what gets me hyped. You know what I'm saying? Not talking bad about J. Cole, obviously, but I'm just saying, like, if everyone sounded the same and, you know, everyone was a lyricist and everyone was this and everyone was that, you know, then it's just like, it would just die out because it's just boring, you know, there's nothing new coming, you know? I need someone to bring a new sound and change it, you know, revolutionize the game. Michael, you know, think about it in sports, you know, like, if everyone played, like, played basketball like the 50s, that'd be so boring. You got Michael Jordan coming in here doing this and with the tongue out and blah, blah. I mean, change the game. The game. Then you're like, man, that was refreshing. Now we got Steph Curry coming in with the threes and then, you know, people launching this, so that's different. We got
now everybody shoot threes and it's low-key boring. It's not, I'm not going to say NBA is boring. This is a off topic. I'm not saying NBA is boring to watch, but at the same time, I know what to expect. I know when people are going to shoot threes. It kind of takes the art out of basketball a little bit for me. I don't know how you feel about it.
I don't know. I mean, not everyone's a three-point shooter. You know?
No, they're not. But teams do it, and like I love seeing, you know, good play, good teamwork, good ball movement, cuts, down screens, all that stuff. But sometimes it's just like, dang, like I knew this year was gonna come. But back to the topic. I do think. See, and I'm in between because honestly, because I like lyricism. If I heard it's just a bunch of lyricism, I wouldn't mind it. However,
you think you wouldn't mind it?
Well. Let me finish, because if we didn't go through this, you know, mumble rapper, this this Migos, this Future phase, we wouldn't learn to appreciate our lyrical rappers as much.
Yeah, but I mean, it's not even like this isn't the first generation where hip hop's changed its sound.
What you got?
I mean, it was different in the 80s, it was different in the 90s, it was different in the early 2000s, it was different in the 10s, it's different now. I mean, it's the sound changes all the time. Would you want to listen to 80s hip hop now? If it just never changed?
Probably not.
That's what I'm saying. You wouldn't want to listen to that. So I don't know. I think it's people get upset that the sound's changing. It's like, well, why would you want it to say the same? Why would you want any art to say the same? Then it's the same thing and there's nothing new. So it's just there's no point in making new stuff because it's gonna sound just like the old stuff. So why don't you just listen to the old stuff? You know, I don't need a new rapper. I already got Tupac. I don't need J. Cole. I already got Biggie. I don't need Jay-Z. You know what I'm saying? Like I already got those guys. But the new people brought something different to the game. And and the people that last obviously are lasting for a reason. And the people that not everyone's listening to Mims, but he had a nice little hot song. It was kind of dope. You feel me? But like, there are certain people that are gonna last, and they're gonna last for a reason. There are some people that aren't gonna last, But that's just what happens when times change, sounds change, things are different, technology advances. This, you know what I'm saying? So, I don't know. I'm all for lyricism and this and that, and you could say that's real hip hop, but hip hop is a genre of music, just like rock is a genre, just like electronic is a genre, and then you also have alternative, you also have grunge. I've talked about this before. You also have punk. You also have all this other, psychedelic rock. All these different subgenres. You have trance. You have house. You have trap. You have dubstep for when it comes to like electronic music. Then for hip hop, you have lyricism. You have mumble rap. You have trap. You have conscious. You have all these different types. Horrorcore. All these different types of hip hop. Why is hip hop the one that has to be just this? If every other genre has its own things and, different people coming from different areas bringing different sounds, and that's why does hip hop have to be no, this is how it has to be, this is what it has to be, it cannot change, it's just like, damn, that's boring, I wouldn't want that, like if you're gonna claim hip hop to be an art, which I think it is, then you gotta treat it as such. You have to treat it as such. You can't just put these parameters on it, like this, if it goes out of this line, and it's trash. And it's like, alright, bro, like, whatever. Like, I'm sure the same people said the same thing probably about Jay-Z, probably said the same thing about Lil Wayne, probably said the same thing about Eminem, probably, all the legends back in the day, and probably said the same thing about Tupac and Biggie when they first came out. They're like, oh, I can't believe they're rapping about this, and oh my God, like, what happened to, but now look at them, they're legends in the game, But if everyone were to just be like, no, it has to be this, hip-hop wouldn't even be around at this point.
I think hip hop was like that because hip hop is very polarizing. It's always been, if it doesn't fit in this box, it's wrong. Instead of trying to create a new box, kind of like piggyback on what you were saying. And I think hip hop is all right, but that's how it's been though. Like way back, like you're saying, everyone thinks hip hop has to be this way, has to be boom bap, lyrical rap. And I used to be one of those people where it's like it has to be lyrical, has to rhyme. It can't be the Migos can't have a lot of mumbling, and that's not real hip hop, such and such. You know what I'm saying? Because I think in hip hop, our issue is that if it doesn't fit, or it used to be, if it doesn't fit that mold, if it didn't fit that mold, we hated it, we rejected it. We're just like, this is trash, we're not going to mess with it, such and such. And I feel like there was a lack of willing to change. And yet, in 2017, 2018, I feel like hip hop has really embraced that change a lot. Whereas like, we had that clash between, the young mumble rappers and the little rappers, versus, the people who were considered lyricists and people that actually rap. It all felt like this clash. Now it feels like more of a mesh. Because you have, people actually sitting down talking with these older guys who've been in the rap game for a long time. Who we do consider lyrical rappers and leaders in our game. Now there's a mesh in it, but I just think that because hip-hop has such a hard time adjusting to what happened, the wave that happened, and waves that do come in, I think that's where that friction came in. As to what's hip-hop, what's not, what's lyrical, what's mumble, what's just trap beats of people yelling and whatnot. I think that's where it came from.
Yeah, I guess. I think that just happens with everything. If you were to go back to when rock was a popular genre, I'm sure people were freaking out when punk started, coming up. Like they were like, this isn't music. It's just loud and they're screaming and this isn't music. You know what I'm saying? But to the kids or to whoever liked it, was like, no, I enjoy this. I feel it. You know what I'm saying? And the thing is, hip hop wasn't even the same thing in the '90s. There were so many different types. You had gangster rap. Diggable Planets, and then you had all the Rough Riders were not the same. They were not the same sound, but they were both in the '90s. You know what I'm saying? They just weren't the same sound. So clearly, and that's the golden age of hip hop. Okay, but what sound is the golden age of hip hop? Which sound is it?
I think we're gonna have another golden age though.
There still weren't the same. There were still so many different sounds then, just like there is now, and people are still complaining about them then, just like they are now. It's just purists, I guess, talking about, when they were young, basically. It's just when they were young, this is what was hot, and now you got, the sound's changing, this is horrible. Why aren't you just like my favorite artists that are 50 years old, 60 years old now? It's like, well, because I'm not 50 and 60 years old.
Exactly, well, and that's what I was saying. There's a lack of willingness to change with some people. It's a lot of stubbornness. It's a lack of willingness to just grow and really take on this new wave. And granted, they don't have to like it, but you gotta recognize and respect it and understand that this is a part of what we do now. Mm-hmm. Not me, I don't rap. But this is a part of what's happening. This is a part of our culture. This is what's new.
Right.
And I think that it's also, as much as it's on the younger people and the older people to really mesh it, I think this is, the age in between. I also think you got the people who kind of fall in the in-between line of responsibility. And I think one person that's really took on that responsibility to bridge that gap is J. Cole. If you see pictures, if you really follow Cole, what he does, you'll see pictures of him talking to younger rappers. Kodak Black. When X passed, he had a really long conversation with X. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? But then you also have the fact that he does communicate with older rappers. Hov, T.I., Big Crit, whatever, which is pretty much what the meaning of this song called Middle Child is about. It's about the fact how he feels like, he's too old to be with the young guys, he's too young to be with the old guys. So where he is in the middle. And I think he's done, from my perspective, what we've seen, just him having conversations, he's made the effort. He interviewed Lil Pump. He's made the effort to bridge that gap. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's also what it takes some other rappers to really make this mesh. Everybody can understand where hip-hop is going. Because I think that, and I'm going to say this again, I think we're going to go through another golden age. In my golden age, and I know people don't really understand what a golden age is until after it's over. But I think we're about to go into such an influx and change in hip-hop where things are going to change so much. Everything's going to be happening at one time, and we're going to be like, yo, what is going on? And it's going to be so beautiful. And 10 years later, we look back at 2019, 2018, we're going to be like, man, that was a really good time. A lot of change went on, there's a lot of friction, but we're glad it happened because the end product come years from now, I think it's going to be something amazing. Right. So I think this time now we have in hip-hop where this change is so big, is going to set the table for the future. In the past, the present always sets the table for the future. Always. But I think now, in this era, what's going to happen 5 years from now, I'm kind of excited for it.
Yeah, I'm interested to see what's going to happen. I'm interested to see what's going to happen later this year.
Definitely, absolutely.
There's going to be a lot of changes going on. And, J. Cole is definitely making a point to reach out to these young guys, talking to them. I don't know what he's really talking about, I guess. But, how it's not that what J. Cole is doing is wrong. I like what he's doing, but if you're doing what you're doing, your craft, your art, the way you want to do it, and some older guy's like, yo, bro, like, this is how you gotta do it. You're gonna be like, I'm gonna do it how I want to do it. It's my art. You know what I'm saying? How are you gonna? Not that J. Cole's doing that, but I'm just saying, like, when a lot of these old heads are talking to these younger kids, like, yo, like, you gotta do this, and you gotta bring this in there, and you're not respecting the art, this and that. I was like, okay, well, this is my art. How are you gonna tell me what? It's like in art class when I did a self-portrait and I didn't get a good grade on it. It's like, how are you gonna tell me how I see myself? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's art. Should I be getting an A in everything I do in art class? Right. You know what I'm saying? Like, just because it doesn't look good to you does not mean that it doesn't look good to me, or that's what I was going for. Like, you don't know that. So don't just sit here and assume that I'm just trash and I need guidance, this and that. Because what if that's the goal of what I'm trying to do, and you just may not like it, but I'm not making it for you. I'm making it for people that do like it.
Right. Well, one conversation we do know was a Lil Pump interview, and in that conversation itself, Cole is like, as much as and I'm sure he does give them guidance, and I'm sure. No, okay. To answer your question, if your older guy was coming to me saying, Devonn, you're doing this thing wrong, you're doing this radio thing wrong, you're doing all this wrong, such and such, because he's an older guy and because he's been doing this longer than me, just off rip, I'm listening to what he's saying.
But if he's trying to change the way you're sounding and your craft and everything like that, but you're making it. You're sounding the way you're sounding because you want it to sound like that, and you're doing it the way you want to do it because that's the goal, and that's the end product you want.
Right.
And he's coming here saying, you cannot sound like this. This is how you're supposed to sound. This is what true radio people sound like. But you're like, but this is me. This is how I sound. Do I want to be like everybody else, or do I want to separate myself and be me? And I get what you're saying. Like, you want to take advice from people, but if someone were to come to me,
where I was going though was to say, I'm gonna listen to you just out of respect for you because you may know something I don't know. I'm gonna listen to you, jot it down, take in what you're saying. But then after a while, once I take it in and then I really internalize it, is this me? Like, say I got advice from a Radiohead. It was like, you know what, Devonn, what you need to start doing? You need to start slandering a bunch of people. You need to start making up a bunch of lies, say a bunch of catchy lines like you used to back in the day, make up a bunch of BS lines about people just for clicks and attention. I'm going to listen to what you're saying. I'm going to listen to it like, oh yeah, why would I do that? Okay. Wow, alright. But then at the end of the day, like you said, I'm going to do what's good for me. And I'm going to do what I want to do because this is my work. You know what I'm saying? So I'm agreeing with what you're saying. I just wanted to make sure I got that out because, like, for other people to take what I think it's, you have to gauge on who can help you and who's just trying to hurt you. And I think everyone may have good intentions to help you. Majority, like, 9 out of 10 people really do want to help you. But any if they may have the good intention to help you, the advice that they may offer may hurt you in the end.
Yeah.
So out of those 9 people, I think you gotta filter out of those 9 people who's actually going to do good for you in their advice.
Yeah. Because
some people may have good intentions, but if it's gonna hurt you in the long run, then you can't use that, obviously. You know. And I think, you know, did I cut you off? Mm-hmm. In the back to the Cole conversation you had with Pump. In that conversation itself, he was attempting to understand why he may have trolled him. You know, he asked him, you know, why you said that stuff, why did you say that, where did that come from? When Pump kind of explained it, you know, I didn't, to my recollection, I don't think Cole was mad, you know, he didn't spaz on him or anything like that, but at the same time, it's that kind of stuff right there where instead of just saying, you know, F you, even though he did drop 975, that was a diss track, you know, instead of sitting there and be like, well, you ain't have to do that to me, bro, you ain't have to sit there and disrespect me, put that video out, we just understood where it was coming from, acknowledged it, respected it, and just left it at there. Yeah. And I think there's going to be more of that, and that there should be more of that. But not just by him, though. I think, I mean with everything you have in life, when you have a younger, older generation, has to be someone in the middle that steps up or anything. But because we're talking about hip-hop, I think he's done a good job in that. And I think someone else should kind of help him out with stepping there, too. And I think it will. I just when or who, I don't know. But I definitely see it coming.
So you just want someone that's older to help the old guys understand why the young people are doing what they're doing?
Yeah, I do.
Okay. I get what you're saying.
Yeah. I really do.
Sometimes you don't, it's not yours to understand, you know what I'm saying? Not that J. Cole shouldn't understand, but you know, it's just different generations do different things, you know, and the older heads aren't just, you know, they just won't get it. They're just not going to understand. Mm-hmm. J. Cole didn't grow up, you know, with the social media as heavy as it is right now.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Maybe he doesn't understand, like, trolling, you know, just to do that, like, people like that, you know, the youth, and then just easy to blow up this system, you know, all that stuff. So, like, you know, sometimes you gotta accept that you just don't understand. Like, that's just not your generation. You don't have to understand everything that's going on. Mm. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you just, like, you can acknowledge it, like, all right, yeah, that's different, that's cool, I don't get it, but I'm gonna let you guys do your thing, I'm gonna go do my thing, you know what I'm saying? Like, not that J. Cole was, like, is wrong in what he was doing, but, like, I mean, I don't honestly necessarily feel that old heads need to understand hip-hop now. They don't need to, you know? Like, sometimes, if you don't like the sound, then listen to what you like. There's still people making music that you would like, and there's still new artists that are making music that you would like, but just because you don't like the mainstream doesn't mean you have to, you know.
But I think
I don't know. I just don't feel the need to
you are
understand everything.
You are right, but if you're gonna come out about it and you're gonna bash it and you're gonna knock it down and you're gonna talk all this crap about it, I would rather someone know what they're talking about before instead of just jumping on it, just crapping on it, based off what they see. You know?
What do you mean by, like, know what they're talking about? Like, when it comes to hip hop?
Or just anything in general. Like, if you're gonna see something, I mean, we can take this hip hop conversation. If you're gonna see something and you're gonna jump on it, you're gonna bash it, you're gonna knock it down, say this is stupid, this and this. Why don't you take the time to actually learn about it before you actually say something ignorant about it, or just bash them or knock it down? You know what I'm saying?
So, like, learn the history of hip hop and stuff like that.
No, okay, not this. Oh, well, that's a whole different conversation. But in terms of, okay, let's take the old dudes versus young dudes, for example. Say you got some old dudes who were going out here bash these young dudes, saying this is hip hop. What are they doing? I don't get it. This is stupid. This is ridiculous. We need to get them out of the culture. Whatever. Instead of just trying to knock them down, bash them for what they're doing, talk to one of them, learn about it. Instead of just me get straight up a hostility, trying to just knock it down. And you know what I'm saying? Like, understand where they're coming from.
I get what you're saying.
Because if you're gonna speak on it, I think you should know something about it.
Yeah, You know, but sometimes I get what you're saying, and if they want to reach out and talk to them and realize, you know, understand why they're doing that, just for them, then I guess yeah. But at the same time, if I'm doing something, if I'm in hip hop and I sound a certain way and I'm doing something and I'm getting, you know, traction and I'm, you know, blowing up off of it, and I got old people being like, oh, that's not, you know, whatever, you know, that's not real, that's not what hip hop is. I'm like, I don't really care what you. I just don't care, you know. Like, you don't like me, you don't like me. I'm not gonna make you understand why I'm doing this. Like, you either like it or you don't. Like, clearly you just grew up in a different time, different age, different music styles, this and that. Like, I'm not expecting you to like it. If you like it, cool. Like Gucci Mane, he is collaborating with all these people. He didn't grow up in his generation. You know what I'm saying? But then you got other rappers that probably like, oh, I can't believe that, you know, they're not rapping like this and they're not telling stories and they're not lyrical and this. And it's just like, all right, bro, go ahead and be grumpy over there. You can be a grumpy old man. I get it, but like, I'm not gonna, like, this is just what I'm doing. You know what I'm saying? I don't. But I get what you're saying. Yeah, like if people want to go and understand why you know, they're sounding the way they're sounding or making the music the way they are, whatever the case, and by all means, more power to you. Go ahead and learn it, you know, and understand. But I don't think it's necessary for old people to understand what the young people are doing, because it's not the same generation. They didn't grow up the same. They didn't have the same influences as these people. So maybe if they did explain it to them, they wouldn't even understand, because they can't connect to that. You know what I'm saying? There's just a disconnect to it. You know, so no matter how much you could be like, well, you know, like video games, for example. Like, my dad played video games as a kid, but if I were to try to show him Call of Duty now, he would just be like, what? And I'm like, bro, but all you had to do was this and this and that. He's just not gonna know. He's just not gonna know, because it's just a different generation. As much as I want him to know, or as much as he wants to learn, and you know, he probably could learn after hours and hours and hours of practice. But I mean, but the immediate disconnect and just the differences in generations are gonna be so prevalent that it's probably gonna be super hard for him to understand. He's like, you know what, I'm just gonna let you do you. Right. I'm not even gonna do that.
But say your dad is gonna say something like, you know what, Call of Duty's stupid. I think that's dumb. I don't know what's going on in that game. Too much going on. Right trigger, left trigger, that's dumb. Would you rather him try it first and then say that, or just rip off and say that, because it's not what he's used to?
If he wants to try it and then say that, either way, it wouldn't change my opinion on what the game. It wouldn't change my opinion on how I view the game. So even if he plays it, comes up with that idea, or comes up with that solution, or comes up with that, and I'll be like, all right, I'm still gonna go play it. Or even if he doesn't play it,
right?
Even if he doesn't play it, and then he just talks all that stuff about it, I'm like, okay, well, I'm gonna go and I'm still gonna enjoy this.
Right. It's not gonna knock my view of Call of Duty. I'm not saying it's gonna knock your view of Call of Duty, but in my mind, it'd be like, you know, you're making these statements, and you know, we got a little bit left, and we're gonna wrap up the show. But you know, someone's gonna make these statements about these things. They don't know what it's like. They've never tried it. So before you go out and you bash it and you talk down about it, at least try it first. In my mind,
I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying, and you know, that's on them. You know, but everyone has an opinion. You don't have to experience everything to have an opinion, because then no one can have an opinion. There's a lot of things that I cannot have an opinion on.
True.
You know what I'm saying?
But I'd rather you may not have to experience it, but you could do your research on it.
Right. I mean, I get what you're saying.
Because a lot of us never played NBA basketball, but we research our whole life. We talk about it like it's nothing. So I think if you could research it, then whether you've done it or not, you have the authority to speak on it. So,
yes, kind of. So go ahead.
I mean, no, I hear you though. We'll have to say that for next week. What did you think of Middle Child?
I thought it was nice. It was a good song. I mean, you know, he claims to be the best out right now.
Which he is.
You know, that's definitely a good argument. There's a couple other people probably up there that you could probably claim to be the best right now. But yeah, you could definitely argue that he is, and I guess I can agree with that, depending on what you're looking at as best and stuff like that. All depends on what you think, what you hold more as sales, lyricism, beat selection, all that stuff.
A lot goes into it.
Yeah, so it's a different conversation for another time.
I got you. I like the track overall. Only part I didn't like, it really caught me up. This is like a whole new Cole. Like, not a whole new, it just feels different. Cole, he doesn't release singles like that. They came out with a single. That caught me off guard. And then, you know, the auto-tune on the hook really kind of threw me for a loop. I was like, and I'm still kind of on the fence about it. I know how I feel about it. I mean, it's not, I don't dislike, I love the song, but that hook right there with him on the auto-tune, I was like, dang, I don't really know how to feel about that. But then also shows me that he's trying new things.
Well, yeah, I get what you're saying, but like, I wouldn't. Same thing with like if music just stayed the same all the time.
Right,
If
facts,
the artist stayed the same the whole time,
Yeah.
and it's like, all right, I might as well just listen to your old stuff because you sound the exact same.
Right, and that's why I say
You know
I'm
what
on the
I'm
fence.
I liked it. I liked the hook. I liked the whole thing. The whole song I thought was really
It's
well
not. It's
together.
like I don't dislike it. I don't love it. I'm on the fence about it because I can't be mad at someone for trying new things. I don't hate it though. I don't absolutely hate the hook.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
So, do you like the hook?
I don't know. I'm on the fence about it.
What do you not like about it? Because he did that?
It's just new to me. Yeah, that's just it. It's just that's what I'm saying. I don't hate it. I don't love it. I'm in between. It's just a new feeling to me. And if it's new, I'm not just gonna sit there and say I hate it. You know what I'm saying? I would need like more auto tune from him to say, you know, okay, well I think I like auto tune or not. It's like this is the first time I've ever heard J. Cole use auto tune personally. But
Well, did you? Okay, then alright, were you on the fence about with KOD?
what are you talking about with Kill Edward?
Yeah, no, the whole thing, because that's the beat selection, the flows.
When I first
all
heard
that
it,
stuff,
with like for example like Motivate. When I first heard Motivate, I was like, this is not what I'm used to.
Mm-hmm.
The more I listen to it, the more I begin to like it. You know what I'm saying? So overall, I love KOD as a project, but I get what you're saying. Like at first with Motivate, primarily that track, I was kind of like, this is definitely different than what I'm used to. But I don't know. It was definitely different. I had to get more, but listen to it more and more to really appreciate it.
I liked it from off jump. You
Mm-hmm.
know, just like I like this off jump. You know, I just like, you know, whatever sound. If it sounds good, I like it. You know,
Yeah.
I don't get mad at an artist for doing something out of the box if they always sound like this and they do something else. If I like it, I'm like, all right, that's dope. I'm not gonna be like, oh, that's different. I don't know. You know, if it doesn't sound good, then it doesn't sound good. But if it sounds good, if you went out of the box and it sounds good, I'm like, oh, dope. That sounds good. And you went out of the box. That's, you know, that's awesome. You know. So I'm not. But I understand why you would feel that way. Though.
Yeah, because I'm not mad at the guy. It's
Personally,
just different to me. Yeah,
I'm just like,
it's definitely different.
Different is dope to me.
Yeah, different. Yeah, I mean, different things that are new to somebody are gonna be. Like if you try something new, at first it's gonna be like, whoa, like what's actually going on here? At first, before you actually like it or not, depending on what, you know, depending on what. But all right, guys, that's all the time we have today. Thank you guys so much for watching and or tuning in. Again, we will be up next week on 6 p.m. on WRLR.FM. Thank you guys so much for tuning in or clicking in, I guess. Where can I find you at?
Well, my address is sick now. You can find me on Instagram. I'm not gonna give my Instagram name. I'm sure if you just type in Pierce Anderson, I'll pop up. You always shit on me every time or poop on me every
bro,
time.
watch your language.
Sorry,
bro.
I forgot YouTube has censorships.
You want video take it down?
That's not gonna happen. Facebook, I guess. I don't ever go on Facebook. Twitter. I think my name on Twitter is like Pilot P. You can find me on there, something like that. Yeah, so just type in Pierce Anderson. I'll pop up.
Oh, okay.
I'll pop up. Did it pop up?
Well, I follow you, so yeah, it popped up.
Yeah,
so that's
Pierce isn't. I guess that's not the most common first name in the world. So
you have two.
Oh, yeah, I have another one.
Yeah, you do. Oh, okay.
I have two of them.
Yeah,
I've only posted one picture on the other one.
Yeah, I was gonna say okay. At first, I thought it was a fake account. I'm like, dang, they got my boy.
Nah.
That's crazy.
But yeah, so that's
Anderson
where you can
Pierce.
find me at.
Oh, there's another one. There's like 6 Pierce Andersons. All right, I'm gonna let it go. Whatever. All right. You guys can find me Facebook Devonn Overstreet, Facebook in School Detention, Twitter at DShootTake15, Instagram Devonnalan. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. You guys have an amazing night and stay warm. Weather is crazy, absolutely crazy.
That's what we cold as a mother effer.
Cold as a mother effer. Good night.